Greetings, I'm Steve Mesplay from Wildwood Guitars, and we have had a tremendously enjoyable day today, joined by our friend Jeff Coleman. Jeff's a tremendous player, and he's just finished playing 30 or 40 or 50 Wildwood 10's Strats and Tellys. So thank you very much for joining us, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
Been a lot of fun. Jeff came out in 2000, help me here, 2007. It's the first time we met him. He came out to do a workshop at our store. And he had sent a list of all the guitars that he would want to be demoing, and it was some great Fender product, hot rod Strats and Tellys and VG Strat, and so we had all the guitars ready for the workshop, and he came in, and I think as soon as we had greeted each other, he said, "What's a Wildwood 10?"
Right.
And we had a couple of them hanging on the wall, and he played them. And
I don't think I had ever played anything with a 10-inch radius before that.
Yeah, yeah. And we had a great time. The workshop was incredible. Jeff made every guitar sound rather spectacular. And after the workshop, he came back to the store and played
for hours.
I think every single Wildwood 10 that we have. This particular guitar that Jeff owns and plays, and I love seeing it. The frets are heavily worn. He's been abusing and loving and caressing this guitar.
Yeah, as I told you, it's I've been playing guitars since 1979 and probably have owned, 100 guitars, and there's probably 20 that I've played and practiced for hours. You know how that is. You get certain ones that you go to. I think in the history of my playing guitar, I've got more hours on this guitar than any. And that's a tribute to you guys.
Well, thank you very much. It's a tribute to the great guitars that Fender makes, certainly. So Jeff has taken this guitar and done a few things to it to make it be everything he needs in a guitar. It obviously had a lot to offer him, but he's done some things to it. Why don't you tell everybody what you've done to Jeff Coleman-ize this guitar?
The 6105 frets are nice and tall, but thinner. I put 6100 frets a little wider, and that was one modification. The other one that's noticeable is that I have a humbucker in the bridge. We got some
complete with some lint.
Some metal stuck to it. But I have a coil tap on it so I can, make it single. For me, I play a lot of nice, long, slow melodic, hopefully melodic. And I need a little bit, a little more variety in my bridge pickup. A little meaner, thicker. And I can get the single coil. I've got a coil tap. Certainly a Stratocaster that's just single coil would be more preferable than tapping the coil, but it's a give and take world there. The other modification is that I have 5 springs, and it's just a subtle mod, but I don't really use the trim. I just keep the bridge right on the body of the guitar because I do a lot of tuning changes. So on the fly I can just... As you know, if you have a floating trim, right, you're going to have to mess around with your tuning a bit. So if I had more to say with the trim that was original, I might go that route, and certainly I use it in the studio and all the subtleties, and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jeff Beck and all the greats. I do a low-rent version of all that, but for my style and my playing, I more prefer to mix jazz harmony with metal, this kind of thing, and that's more of a thing than more important. If I had one guitar to take to the desert island, it would be that kind of thing. I can change my tuning and have it all in one. So
great.
There you go.
You do great things with it. This particular Wildwood 10 was one of the first versions that we did in 2006 and 7, I believe. And this was the first run, the 50s Strats, we called them, ash bodies, obviously maple neck and fingerboard. John Cruz master designed pickups in the neck and middle position as we continue to use those pickups. You can go to all the videos that Jeff did for us and hear him get some tremendous sounds out of the guitar. He's a very gifted musician. We're really honored to have him here. So tell us what you're doing musically now.
This is the year of releasing records. I've got October, it's either the 12th or the 19th. I've got a band called the Bombastic Meat Bats. I don't know who came up with that name, but it's Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he's got his side band Chickenfoot. We actually formed our group before Chickenfoot, but we waited to release our first record, which I think it made it to number 9 on iTunes one week, and broke the top 50 Billboard jazz charts, and
Excellent.
It's been really cool because, you know, there's a lot of Chili Pepper fans, but it's instrumental, funk rock. The keyboard player, as I mentioned to you, his clock stopped at 1974, so it's Billy Preston, his B3, it's clav, whirly, you know, wah pedal, Rhodes, funky, and very melodic, very compositional, not just free jammy.
Right.
We got a second record called More Meat, available I think October 19th on Universal. We're going to do some West Coast, some East Coast dates to promote the record. We have a live one in the can as well that Bob Bradshaw came out and recorded and mixed and engineered. So we got to get the second record out before the live record.
Right.
I've got a new solo record that I'm singing and playing guitar, and I think there's some hard rock and metal roots there. Not the metal vocal, but, you know, not afraid to shred a little bit and play some rhythm guitar and, you know, have some fun. And so that's coming out, and I've got a new band called Funkadelic that I'm fronting and singing.
Wow.
And it's a little bit more like, you know, perceived hit singles, fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a comical side to it, but real catchy tunes, and a little bit more of like funk and Sting influenced, and a whole different thing. It's not as solo oriented; it's more about the song. So there's like a couple different things, and. You know, and I've got my group Cosmo Squad, and we do the heavy rock fusion metal hybrid.
Right. One of the highlights of the yearly NAMM show is Jeff usually comes out there with his band and plays on the stage at the Fender booth, which is always a special
I think last year we brought Kenny Aronoff out,
Right.
and I did a thing with Chad Smith, and, you know, at Sabian, and we did the thing at Fender, and Fender's always good for having us out.
Right.
So.
And are you still working with Fender? Are you
Always.
doing some clinics for them? Yeah.
I think I did 20 clinics in 30 days in the springtime, and it was a blast.
So 4 or 5 bands working for Fender.
Life could be worse.
In your spare time, you
know what? I have 2 daughters. I'm married, and I do some film and TV stuff. There's some quite a few. I tend to get all these like movie trailers. Yeah, this month's paycheck was the A-Team, Toy Story 3, Clerks 2, you know, some TV shows, all kinds of stuff. So
wearing many hats all simultaneously.
You gotta do
Excellent.
it.
Well, check out Jeff's music and his career at jeffcoleman.com.
Yeah, that's simple.
That's Coleman spelled
K-O-L-L-M-A-N.
That's right. He's Coleman with the K.
Very German.
Excellent. And check out the Wildwood 10's. We're actually going to, next year, we're hoping to come out with a Jeff Coleman signature model designed after the mods that he's put on this. And his mom and dad are each wanting one.
Right.
And his daughters want one. And we all want one. You'll want one too. So maybe you can play some music headed out. Jeff,
Sure.
thank you again. Thanks
Thank you
very much for joining us. It's been a special pleasure
I'm going
for
metal.
us.
Let's go metal. Yeah.
Jeff Coleman, jeffcoleman.com.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Really a pleasure.
The metal. You got to give him the metal sometimes.